Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone. Welcome. How are we this Tuesday? Hey, Joe. Hey, RU's nephew. Hey, Rod. Hey, Daniel. What else do we have? Hey, Zombie. Hey, Mitchell. And Thunder Keys and Simon. Hey, Fabrico. Hey, GJ. It's Cheesy Potato and Alex. How are folks? Hey, Redacted. Kittrell, Aaron. I dropped something. Oh, there it is. How are folks? Rocky Mountain RepRap Festival is far too soon. Far too soon. Hey, PF Dennis. Hey, B McNichol and Hybrid Toast. Hey, Skyrim and MacBoy. Joe and Voron Noob and 3D Experiments and Brent and Richard and JD and Dark and Corey. Cordova and Turtle Crawler and Nuno. We're going to work on Legacy today. I just need to make progress. And this is something we haven't seen a whole lot on the channel. I'm making major changes to it. So, not soon enough for someone that doesn't have to prepare anything. Oh boy, I need all the time I have. Maker Viking, I'm doing well. I have been busy. Busy here, busy at work. Busy, busy, busy. OS Decay. Yeah. So my Legacy, this is Legacy serial number 01. This is the second Legacy in existence behind Max's RCFs. Where I read all the names. I tried to. I'm not going to catch them all. PXN and Michael, Collie, Fabrico, thank you for the gifted memberships. Hey, Alan. Heading into the garage to mill some parts for the Milo to take to Rocky Mountain. Have a great time. You too. Speaking of Alan and West 3D, I placed an order from West 3D last week. I wanted a extrusion top hat for my red V0, and I'd been waiting for them to come into stock. So I had a notification there and I ordered it to come into stock. So I ordered that and I ordered some new rails for it because it has old rails and they're not stainless and they're rusting a little bit. So I ordered those two things, and then to get free shipping, I threw a "What's in the box" on the order, and I got my order the other day, and I had heard from Daniel. They were excited for what they sent me, and I was excited to get it, but I already have one. So the "What's in the box" was a TD1 kit from by Ajax. Now I have one because Ajax sent me one, but what that's going to enable us to do is this Sunday, when we look at this, I'm going to give this away. So since I saw Alan here, I thought I'd bring that up and thank them for providing the opportunity to give that away to folks. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Sebastian and Nathan. Hey, Dom and Pavel, Andrew and RZ and Philip. Oh, all kinds that jumped in here when I wasn't looking. Hey, Tuxedo and Blake. Fixture Jake. Anyway, yeah, so that'll be fun. We're this Sunday, we're gonna go over the TD1, and the reason the tie-in is that the next build is the black box tool changer. So we're gonna unbox the black box and we're gonna look at the TD1 on Sunday. Then we'll start the black box build after I get back from Rocky Mountain. Hey, John. Fusion Lit. Arthur, Da Vinci and Michael. Okay, this is my Legacy. Let's bring this over here. I have got a mess in here. It's messier than normal. So this is it. Let me get some of this stuff out because I didn't know what to do for a thumbnail, so I just figured I'd take a picture of the mess. Yeah, this does not belong here. If you were watching last Tuesday, I had come up with a new side spool holder mount for my green V2, and I decided I needed a lower mounting one. So this is super simple. Just this piece here, and it looks like a face. Or a face with a long nose. Everything is faces in this hobby, right? We can find faces everywhere. But Buffering. I hope not. Back now. Yep, buffering. Really? I forgot to change the latency back to normal. It's still on ultra low, so that might be a little much. But anyway. RU's nephew, bottom plate. So the bottom plate thing is covering electronics. The electronics are all in here. So this does not require a bottom plate because there are no electronics on the bottom to cover. Got it back, had to refresh. What all print are you bringing to Rocky Mountain? I've been so focused on what printers to take. I don't know what prints I'm going to take. So anyway, that I modeled the other day. I'm pretty pleased with it. I'm going to use it. I'll probably use it more than the other one because it's nice and low profile. It has room for the side panel. The STL is on my Discord, but I'll throw it the STL and the step file out on my GitHub in the same spot as the others. You can sign up for the piece of the giant cube. I have no time. If they are not at a want for extra people, I'm going to be spending all my time doing builds. How's Clipper screen holding up on the Green V2? It's fine. It's good. It's good. Oh, what printers? So I'm going to take this one. This is why we're working on this. I'm taking my original black V2, which has RepRap firmware, a Mini 5 Duet controller, the Roto Duet toolhead board, the Revo Roto extruder, the E3D bamboo obsidian high flow hot end, and Chaotic Lab CNC parts kit on it. Oh, it's all over the place. What software do you use for modeling? Fusion 360 primarily. Why don't you use printables or things for your stuff? Because I feel like there's an extra layer of presentation required on printables. So I have thrown stuff on printables. I feel like there's a little bit more detail I want to put on there. So it's just a matter of level of effort and getting things out there. I don't know why I was picking that up. So the plan for the legacy here is that I had modeled a custom electronics box for an M4P that I bought a good while ago. So M4P is going in there. And this is a mount here for a U2C for a can tool head. And I'm not going to end up needing it because I got a better solution for that. Because this only has 4 drivers and I need 5 for my legacy because I independently control the Z's. Bill Brothers, welcome. Geek Toy Box and John. I am not planning on taking the Milo with me unless someone really wants it on their table or something. I don't have a spot for it and it's heavy. Anyway, this is, I made this a little deeper. This is, I did a concentric infit or bottom layer on that and it really takes the light well. And then these are glued in because they're proud of the surface. Yeah, and then access for the SD cards are over here. You gonna do an ERCF V2 build at some stage? I'm expecting to, but I don't know when. Yeah, this came out awesome. To be honest, I was having problems with this not sticking and warping up and splitting and all. So adding the extra surface area made a big help. So, but yeah, the whole little enclosure. Now there is challenges in getting to the USB ports here. There's not a lot of room there. I can get to power, I can get to all that. And then on this, the power supply mounts here and gets covered. So there's just room. It doesn't cover any of the controller there. Boydie, welcome. Thanks, mate. I just ordered mine. It would be cool to see the builds from start to finish. I guess I was a little late. Like button 5 times for penance. There you go. We are giving away a roly-poly maker filament today at the 2-hour mark in 1 hour and 50 minutes. Do what we can to get as many likes as we can by then. Easy mode to build and tune. ERCFLG was definitely not ready. Cool. I'm looking forward to trying it then. Okay, so this also has a CB2 in it. So I have a Pi 2 and a CB2. This is the opportunity for me to try the CB2. So that's in there. And I've already flashed it. It has the, it is flashed. It is moved to the eMMC that's built into it. So no SD card required. Yeah. So to do CAN, because the board does not have a USB to CAN bridge, you need something external. So I am going to use, hey Shadell, I am going to use this XBST. I think I got this from Chamois here. So this is a little USB to CAN bridge. Now where do I put it? So I had a few ideas. I had purchased a right angle USB that would go here, plug in right there, and then mount this guy right here. But I thought of an even cleaner solution. I bought a pack of USB adapters. It's the Pi Can. Thank you. And one of these is a turnaround little C adapter. So the plan is to plug this guy in right here. Let's see how well this is going to work. So that goes in there like that. And then this is going to plug in right there. And that's just going to hang out there. So I think that will work just fine. This thing is not heavy. It's not gonna knock loose from there. So yeah. I got a whole stack of other adapters that might come in handy. I know my display on here is a Mini 12864, and that's going to stay, but it uses this little Voron hardware thing that I think Timmett designed. Might be. It's a little STM042 display adapter for these. So it connects via USB. So that's what I need the other USB port for. But it plugs into the EXP ports on the back of the display, and then a USB cable plugs in, and then it plugs into the Pi equivalent here. Hey Liz, welcome. Hey Sanity. Hi because of legacy. You can use a standoff for the CB2 hole under it to support for it to rest on. Oh, I could do a little support there if I feel I need to. Good call. Hey Glendon. Okay, so I'm kind of going through the plans for this build, and then we're just going to kind of whatever I can bounce around and work on for this. As much progress as I can make. We're not going to finish it. We're not going to get to the point where we're powering it up. I just need to make progress and hopefully hang out and have fun while doing it. So only 4 stepper drivers on here, which means I'm going to run a CAN toolhead board. I'm going to run a CAN toolhead board with the Stealth Burner Bowden setup. So it has mounts for a Stealth Burner style toolhead board. Hart K on the team modeled this, made a couple of small tweaks because not a lot of people run this. So there's not a lot of testing and feedback on it. There's only a couple of people probably who have even thought to run this. But I want to run it because I want to keep the M4 extruder. So we are going to run, we're going to run one of my old or previously on the Tridex SB 2040 V1s from Mello. I have this on the shelf. I want to utilize it. It's an open air printer, so these tend to run a little hotter than the V2. It'll be less of an issue. Is that Bowden file available right now? My TiVo Tornado has an M4 and Stealth Burner. Brian, these are available. I made some tweaks to fix a couple of things. I need to do a PR to it, but it's in the Stealth Burner repo, the Voron Stealth Burner repo. If you go in there, there's a Bowden tool head or Bowden extruder in the Clockwork 2 area. Is the hole in the angled section of the case for the powered switch. Angled section of the case. No. I'll show you the power switch. So anyway, I've reprinted a couple of pieces of this, so we'll have to reassemble it. One of the problems is one of the holes here, right here, for the cable chain or whatever mount, it's not really accessible. So I had to put a notch in this red piece here. And then the cable cover mount, it's kind of hard to deal with. So I made a big hole here so we can just put the screw straight through. Minor changes. But once I confirm that they work, I can do a PR to the Stealth Burner repo to update those. But this will get a tool head board, which is nice because that means I'll be able to use the fan adapter on the front of a freshly printed Stealth Burner front. Hey, Inks. Let's see. So now the question is, so I'm putting the tool head board here because I'm saving all of the extruder, thermistor, fans, Endstop wires going through the umbilical, but I will have to run the stepper output from here to the M4. Don't worry about it. Thank you. Did you happen to make a dual Bowden version also? No, and I didn't make this. This is Hart K modeled this to have a Bowden version. Now this started with Afterburner. So the tool head on here was Afterburner based, which means the bolts come in from the back. I didn't want to take the carriage apart, the X carriage here apart. So, and Clockwork 2 has the bolts coming in from the front. Usually there's heat sets here. What I did is I threaded some heat sets onto a screw and pushed through and then pulled back while I heated it with a soldering iron from the backside and just kind of wedged them in there. It's working fine. Oh, let's see. Yeah, so that is the whole reason I didn't want to reprint this and deal with reassembling this. I'm leaving this as it is. Simon, this is everything here is KVP. Everything here was printed about 3 years ago. Most of it was printed about 3 years ago. About 3.5 years ago, maybe. It's KVP Stellar Black and Stellar Red. This is not my design. So this is RCF's design. And it is the legacy. So it's a callback to the original V1.5 or whatever version. Now it does have, the corner cubes here are from the same stock as the original Voron kits. So RCF sent me the corner cubes that I'm using in the build from the Voron kits. So it has old parts. He also sent me a Mic 6 build plate, but I like the idea of using an Ender 3 plate on here, and it's worked really well for me. I have some modified bed mounts to make that happen, and the Ender 3 plate has treated me very well. Finally build despite lack of assembly manual and good looking. It is a good looking printer, and the CAD is out there. It's the original Voron build experience. It's a legacy build experience as well. It's legacy in both design and documentation. What else about this? So I'm going to be doing, the umbilical is going to come back to the corner here only because the M4 is here. Otherwise I might have taken it to the center. Legacy of pain in my A. And it'll have just the can wires and then the 4-stepper wires going to the tool head. So let's build the tool head. Kind of go through some of this. So quite a few heat sets in this. There's a ECAS fitting here. But I need to replace this front plate, so we're just going to pull this apart and do that. I'm just going to place a KVP order today, but they only sell 1 kilogram rolls in packs of 4 now. They're really not excited to have hobbyist business, apparently. I'm using KVP here because I have old stock. I have it, and that's what I printed it in. And this is from an era when it appeared that KVP was interested in, at least the impression was they were interested in the in our business. I would not personally go seek out KVP filament right now. My own thing. Oh, I do have to do 2 heat sets in this piece. So this piece is what I modified. Okay, so I have this. So see, I enlarged that hole there, and this is all to get a screw through there for the cable chain cover. So see, now you have full access to that. Just bought some atomic filament today. Curious to see how it goes. Ironically, V1.0 had full manual. Don't inject facts into my attempt at humor. Okay, so this is gonna just go right back in here. I need to put a couple of heat sets into here. So I'm gonna recover these and just reuse them. Printer uses a now discontinued KVP color, so going forward when enough parts are due for a reprint, I'll be changing to something new. That's always a concern with filaments. Even same color, different batches over the years has it changes. So even on the Sakura, the 240, there is a slight shade change between the Brad's orange that I used, that I had, and the Brad's orange that I bought because I needed more for it. But they're like 2 or 3 years separating them. You can say you have fusion filaments in that build now. The case is fusion. Oh, the case on this. Okay, I'm gonna pull these heat sets just so I don't have to remember to recycle them later. My wife blew a CB and earth leak detector by smashing a power outlet, moving a bookcase in there. Oops. Very oops. Is the color change due to lot changes or more oxidation? Well, it's fresh off the spool. I don't know. I mean, good questions. So does that Manta board not have CAN bus? Correct. The M4P doesn't have the USB to CAN bridge mode on it. Hey, Chris. Okay, so now that's gone. I need my set press. Put the new one in. Oh. was hoping to get Montreal makers together sometime this summer, working on some ideas. Nice. Any thoughts on XOL or the Dragon Burner? I've been trying to upgrade. So I'm planning on building both of those, a Zol or XOL or whatever, and a Dragon Burner over time. The Zol will go on my Trident. That build series is planned for the double T 9mm CNC gantry on it, and that'll get the Zol. The Dragon Burner I am likely going to put on my Solid Fork rebuild. So Solid Fork rebuild is going to be a complete rebuild to the latest revision, and I'll be printing the parts in the 3DO carbon fiber blue ASA, and some other accent color. I'm not sure what yet, but remember it's a 120 build Solid Fork. Yuri says it's probably one of the only ones out there. Not many people build the 120. But that one is going to be another RepRap firmware build. I have a set of parts for that. So this guy goes in here. And this is one of the few cases where we actually use the rubber seal on the bottom. This goes across here, and we're going to just make sure that's pressed in. And then all of this bolts together. There's nothing to really worry about lining up in there because it's a very simple tool head. I'm just going to put all of these guys back in. I have a Dragon Burner on my new Trident build with a G2 extruder. I like working on the Dragon Burner more so than the Stealth Burner. I haven't tried it. I'm looking forward to it. I've heard really good things. I know Zombie here is a huge fan. So... do you plan on getting the new Minchin nozzle cam to try out? I have no idea what that is. That's the first time I've read that word. Every batch of color is slightly different, which is why factories buy fabric and paper and anything color as a batch. Yeah. So I am not concerned that the color on that Jesse filament was a slight shade different. It was kind of expected, but if I was printing it again, I'd probably buy enough out of one batch. Have any of your M4 extruders develop persistent squeaks? I don't remember any, Brian. I've ran M4 on my original switch wire, and I ran dual M4s for a while doing the Y adapter. This printer has about 125 hours on it is all. That one did not like that heat set, but whatever, it'll be fine. But it does have some time on it. I don't remember it. It's actually, so M4 is a really strong extruder. It can push a lot of force. This is the PTFE that was in it, and I got a filament jam, and it actually tore this out of the collet fitting before it was skipping. Going to do my 120 micron at the same time as you did that Solid Fork. Awesome. Yeah, this was quite a while ago, but it actually pushed it right out of there. Just put a Dragon Burner with G2SA. That was my thought, is G2SA with the Dragon Burner on the Solid Fork. Okay, that means, so I think I can get a screw in there now for the cable chain mount. Let's see. Feel Dragon Burner on my new Micron. I've been impressed. So the idea is, yep, and that goes right in there. Nice and easy. So. I modeled this little quick umbilical mount. I did this for the black V2 over there. I don't know if it's going to be the setup I want. I might change it, but it'll do for now. Get rid of a little bit of that white residue. There's a problem with legacy build. Did I miss that? Let's see, where's my... Any thoughts on, oh, where? I didn't see. You can repeat it. I scrolled up as much as I could. Modified man 4 to use a clamping fitting for the PTFE, broke too many of the normal collets. Interesting. Hey, Timor. I was thinking crazy today. I contemplated trying to put a tap on my micro Swiss Ender 5. Fun. Oh, I need to put that in this. Enk. I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name, but if you can repeat your question, I did not catch it. I'm glancing, I didn't see where you commented. Sean is fine. Perfect. Thank you. I could have just called you Haggle. Hey, William. But I like Sean. Okay, so that's going to go there. And I have some feeling that I'm going to want that to be a little higher on there anyway. But it doesn't quite match. I just printed this that I'd done for the other. Might go Dragon Bird on my first V0. I've got some parts I've been pumping out that are tall, skinny with convex overhangs. Just a little, need a little more cooling, huh? Okay, so we have that. Cable chain is the other part of this. It still has a, I mean the wire cover. So I think that's a 12 millimeter. Now I'll be looking, says Sean now. All the Seans. I've been building a legacy for a month and now everything is just binding and nothing is moving smoothly. So make sure that you're, I would be looking at your alignment of the rods. And that's going to be probably, you just have to look at, if it's binding, it's mechanical. So you just have to look at the alignment of everything. And as it breaks in, belts might stretch a little bit, things might loosen up. You're just going to have to go through the assembly. So that was the point of that modification. That seems to have worked. Now that doesn't seem to line up very well. But maybe it's fine. I expected that to line up a little differently. When you hold it up to it, it seems to. Huh. Maybe did I accidentally print the wrong cover? Is there a different cover? Oh, that's right. This is just a regular cover. There isn't a cover for that, so that must be shaped different. Did you ever upload the Nightlock cable retainer to Git? Not to Git. Hey, Dave. Hey, Nat. With 4 rods, the legacy is not very forgiving when it comes to alignment. Absolutely. That is true. Hey, Dan. Just going to change every rod to carbon fiber tubes. I have a lot of rods from my model aircraft days. There be dragons, Sean. Carbon fiber rods, you have to have just the right setup. And even then, it's not a great idea. So there be dragons with that plan. You're going to be better off just lining up your existing rods. I am doing well. I am doing well. I'm making progress. I've got other projects that are going well. You see you see we've got, if you weren't here on Sunday, we have doors on Phoenix, and the magnets are installed, and the slope of my garage makes these want to close and open on their own. So it's going to be ready. I'm not peeling the panels until we get to Rocky Mountain, and then we might have a plan for that. So I'm hoping we can work something out. Yeah, it does. It's a very satisfying close. I don't know why I did that. Oh, here. Derek, thanks for gifted memberships. Stealth burner looks so itsy bitsy in there. They do. They do. What did you say, Shammy? Takes donations, if that's what you're asking. Donations. Oh, you're talking about today. He plans to have something etched or put on the doors. None yet, but that's not a bad idea. Panels do have hexagons. Polymers. Okay, so that's the tool head. And like I said, this is going to go right on here. But since this is an afterburner carriage, I shoved some heat sets in the back and just melted them into the plastic. I did have a stealth burner on here before, but it was an earlier revision. So this, see here, here's a definite difference in the two versions. See the angle there? It's straight cut here. This one actually wraps around the tool head and helps lock things in place. Any of the scotch I brought to Murph last year. Do you have a solid where's the pellet extruder mod for the Phoenix? Will there be? I not that I know of from us. Where's the tool head that came off of here? I got parts all over the place. I don't know if I have it. Anyway, it had the afterburner Bowden setup with a stealth burner front on it at one point. I think I went to sensorless homing because it was hitting here. The Phoenix doors in the background make me think you had a whiteboard with stuff on it. Close. I did print some modified belt retaining clips to move the end stop over. So that's potentially part of today. You're going to ask Jason from LDO. He might have some. Oh, you're talking there. When you do ERCFU2, you should check out the spool rewinder mod that I linked in general chat instead of using a buffer. Remind me when I get close to that. I'll definitely be talking about it as we go up to that point, but I'm not going to remember right now. I do not give legacy serial numbers. Sanity does. Yep. She's done most of them. Should use the Phoenix doors to post the Polar Ted Club members. Probably put this on here. So tool head board, and then are there any jumpers I need to put on this thing? This is the Fly SB 2040. It is a V1. It is one that failed. So 2 capacitors. As soon as that focuses, bring down. Focus, focus, focus. Come on. Apparently you're not going to, so I'll just move away. There's 2 capacitors right here, and I soldered in a jumper there to bypass them. And those failed, but it works fine without them. The V2 doesn't have those capacitors. But is there anything I need to do about jumpers or anything on here? It does not look like it. It does have the 120 ohm resistor jumper here. I think that's what that is. Yeah, it's a 120R. 120R. So I don't think there's anything I have to worry about. So I can just get this bolted into place. Hey, Kyle. The land down under. It is very... No, this is a good time for you, huh? That's right. This is one of the reasons why this time is good for the Australian viewers. The 5-volt bridge on the version 1 is crap. It'll overheat and fry your board. Even with those capacitors removed. If this doesn't last long, I mean, I'll replace it. But this is what I have on the shelf, and I know it's functional. It functions right now. 8:40 a.m. in the West Coast. Awesome. What's your thoughts on 3D printed RC planes? They look really fun. I know that I will instantly crash whatever I build and try to fly. One day I'll do an RC plane though. We'll do it on stream sometime. Thoughts on the MPX kit? What's the MPX kit? Still trying to work. It's 10:40 a.m. East Coast. V2 fixed it, and now the V3 is shipping. Is that the one? Is that the one with other stuff? Steve flies. Okay, so that's on there. And what's really just nice that there's that this will just go on there, and I'll only have to run the 8 wires to the tool head. Magic Phoenix kit. I don't know what that is, so. I know what Magic Phoenix is, but I don't know what the MPX is. We're on 2.4 with CAN bus and tap. Oh, okay. Would love to see a Peter Stripple collab. Who is that? It's good. Some of the stuff is a bit extra, but good. Much better than the F-Bot, but not quite LDO. So Magic Phoenix has been around for a very long time. And I've heard good things. Yeah, that is going to work out well. I have to tweak. Looks like I might have spoken too soon, and maybe I just need to tweak this a little bit. Just rotate the tool head board down a little bit. Yeah, I've got some interference in here somewhere, which means I'm hoping that it actually lines up here. I can't get to that port. Won't be able to get to that port, so we'll figure this out. Just take a look at flight test. Good ideas for cheap planes. Okay. I'm gonna have to revisit that. This is the cable chain version of the door. I don't know if there's a different one that should be used. I think they got knocked in brutal shipping in Asia. Yeah, that sounds like what your issue is. There is alignment of stuff. This fan. I'm going to use a Honey Badger high speed and alarm. I'm not going to use a yellow wire, I don't think. It's just going to go on here. But I have put in LEDs. So I got the original harness that I made for this. That fan will not PWM. Oh, maybe I won't use this one then. Thank you. That's good to know. I had it in my things and I grabbed it. Oh, it doesn't have to PWM. It's a Hotend fan, right? So it doesn't have to. Hey, Jack. Hey, Emmanuel. Do I care? Or is it going to be just ridiculously loud? Can always go something different. What is this fan? Here. Come on. Why are you just not wanting to focus? We can get really close. This used to focus here. What is going on? It is a high speed and alarm, 24 volt, 9600 RPM, model 4010A 24 9600. It's unenclosed, could be loud. Yellow wire requires input because it has roto-lock. Oh. Okay, I'll find something else then. I am glad to have brought that up because that would have been annoying. Oh, this is the old Stealth Burner diffuser. I reprinted them. Camera needs glasses, apparently. Let's see if I can get this in here. That in there. This in here. When it turns on, it will turn off the Toolhead LEDs. It kicks that hard. I will find a different fan then. I might even just use the Winsin I had in here. That goes on there like that, but it's not actually getting in there. So where did the tweezers go? That's something, some bit. Let's see what we have on here that might be getting in the way. Sitting flush. My mouse is dying. It is. I was wondering about that the other day. I was thinking, I haven't charged this thing in forever. It's been a very long time since I've had to plug it in to charge it. It's been awesome. I'm out here quite a bit. Nothing in here. I was being sarcastic. I absolutely know that it worked great. It just had to be a little snarky. Yeah, that's still not going in over here on this side. Why not? Oh, there we go. I just needed a little more oomph. This goes in here. That. What was that? Huh. Things falling off my desk. It's so messy. From Fabrico's site. Go. This fan features a roto-lock alarm via a third wire that will output a voltage signal when the fan stops spinning. This feature is still being integrated into Clipper to allow. Okay, I won't use it. I don't know where. I don't know if I bought that or if it was sent to me. It was in my fans thing, and I said, "Hey, look, a 24 volt fan. Let's use it." M575 is a really good mouse and no charging. It takes one AA and you don't have to move it about your desk. I like this mouse though. This is a little MX Anywhere. The only thing I wish it had was a tilt wheel, but it's small. Oh, I need to clean up the bridges in here. So little bridges here and here. Go. What printer is this for? This is Legacy. Is that a Prusa Mark IV fan? Maybe. No. It's 24 volt for one. I have to put all these. Go there. This is 28 gauge silicone wire that I was building these with before. It seems to work fine. Hopefully this goes in without breaking. Oh, nope, it didn't. So this piece had broken off and I tried acetone welding it back on. I may try doing it again with this in place because I don't really want to reprint this. And it was so close to working. So I'll just put a little more acetone on there and I'll glue that later. Try it later. Why legacy over something else? So it's not a matter of over something else. So I was on the dev team when this was designed. I was I have the first serial number outside of RCF. And this honestly has been a really good PLA printer. I've done some Christmas stuff for it over the years. Christmas printing for family and stuff. Actually worked on my first Prusa today. Put an ad out to do some 3D printing repairs, and first customer was an i3 Mark III. Fun. Time for some 3D gloop. I do have some ABS 3D gloop. It's in the other shop. Let's go ahead and do this. A little Q-tip and stick this in here. So that goes right like that. There and there. Should no, I don't think I got it. I don't know that I even got much on here. I'm not doing it the proper way. Actually there we are. Didn't get enough on here. There we go. Not going to see this underneath the printer from that angle. I'm off to install BFI to my 2.4. Hopefully I'll be done before you finish streaming. Awesome. Have fun. Hey, BBs. Probably going to gloop my Death Racer together before the event. Just soak it in gloop. I don't know if this is going to work. Hey, Troy. Really like that red. One of my favorite colors in general. It is a good red. It is a good red. I may have to reprint this, but hold it in place and add a dab of hot glue. There's nowhere to put hot glue on this. Okay. I'm going to leave that. Put that away. And then where's had a Delta pert cooling fan on here. This is what was on here before. There we go. DFU jumper in place to make it connect on USB. What are we talking about? Okay, so tonight's build is going to be kind of a jump around, make progress where I can. So I think I am just going to use this fan so I can continue that goal of just make progress where I can. I am going to kind of dust off the blades of this. Squirrel stream, exactly. This has been squirrel central. This whole thing is a giant squirrel moment. I squirreled hard on, I think it was Saturday, because Saturday night I had hit a point where I wasn't making progress on anything else. I could have done something on a project I'm already working on, and then I realized, oh, this is on the shelf. Let's go grab it and check it out. So I very much squirreled right into realizing that I wanted to bring this to Rocky Mountain. I had to get Steve back on track last night. He almost jumped to another printer. I did. Very, very much almost did. Okay, so this was a perfectly capable Hotend fan in its previous assembly, so if you push the heat sets further into the extruder case, you can do away with a third printed spacer and everything will line up. 3D printed spacer and everything will line up. I don't know what are you referring to me or are you talking to someone else in chat? So this is going to go on here and here. A couple of button heads. I need a Rocky Mountain prep assistant. Yes, I do. Is anybody here in Sacramento that wants to dedicate the next week of their lives to making sure I'm ready for the trip? And paying pizza. Let me send Delmar. He's always looking for excuses to travel. So I think I am caught up on giveaway notifications. No pizza, tacos. That's good. One thing I'm going to do here, I noticed this wasn't sitting quite right. Something I tend to do with these. I have a huge Google Doc full of lists for zombie hedgehogging you. Awesome. If I take this and this piece here sticks up over that a little bit, you get this in here, you can get into the layer lines and just cut down. There we are. And then you see that lifting right there? You just take a few layers off just like that. It's super easy because you're cutting along the layer lines and then that makes it flush with the fan there. And then this will sit in here a little better. I'm going to come back a little bit because the board starts a little further back. There we go. I wonder why that trim isn't part of this STL by now. Well, this is not designed for this board. This was not, these boards came after. I mean, they're designed for the stealth burner. They're not, so it's really about the boards not really kind of being forced to fit in here. So it's not a very difficult or whatever modification to make. I always snip the posts on the back of the board. Yes, that too. I do both of that. and this has already been done. But yeah, that'll be there. I'm a decent virtual assistant, but I nominate K2 Kevin to be the motivator. Is Kevin here? You're here, howdy. Okay, swap over to a smaller soldering tip. Let's get these bits all soldered together. Hey, Andrew. You're late. Is it possible to be late? Actually late? He's not here. He's likely being productive. Speaking of which, time to get my recycling out. I'll do that tomorrow. Okay, what are we doing for this? We have, looks like Hotend fan is here, and part cooling fan is here, and then our LED is here. So I'm going to try to mostly leave the wires, tuck that actually down into there. Leave the wires as long as I can. Usually more punctual. So this has a micro fit on it we'll have to take off. It's gonna go there. We'll wrap that around there. Get those off. Yeah. Magic. Okay. I'll just cut these all even. So how many people here are going to be at Rocky Mountain? How many people are going to want a... Now, you don't get to call dibs, but I'm curious how many people are going to want a hex tray that I bring. And which one is your favorite? Dibs. Thinking about going. I will be there, so I hope you save me a hug. Lots of hugs. Wish I could do and call dibs. So if I print a hex tray there, will you sign it? I did last time for you, didn't I? Who's dibs? I don't even have his number. I have 4 pink ones. Where's my Charlie button for a hex tray? I gotta remember to get that stuff. I have quite a few Charlie buttons. I gotta get those out there. Okay, so this is gonna set right there. So let's go ahead and do this one. Favorite is the one with concentric top layer finish. I have quite a few of those now. I kind of got into doing a bunch of those. So almost all of them are a color change thanks to Sergeant Ballistic Tech, I mean. Brian gave me that idea. I somehow have 2 buttons. Well, I've taken them to quite a few events at this point. I won't be buying any more of those. Once they're out, they're gone. I need a good soldering fume. Solder fume setup. I'm getting t-shirts made that say 3-2. Wait, there's one. Anyone ever uses LDO NEMA 172804s for A and B? How about you? I tried to. The 2804s are the power, the super powers, right? Just take a safety breath before soldering. I know. I'm liking the octagram spiral. Yeah. There should be a 3D conference in the Northeast. I've got one of the yellow square extractors and it works well enough to at least pull the fumes away from my face. Yeah, I need to do something. Need a Kirby fume fan. Fume. Doing a very good job of staying in camera. This can just tuck further back there. Yeah, that'll work. Nerf for nothing. So much resonance at bad speeds, at least for my Trident. Yeah, I actually removed those from my Trident. I had them on one of my Tridents, and if they're the superpowers, I removed them. I may revisit it, but I was having interesting issues with them. Okay, so I'm gonna just do the same. Leave a lot of wire because I don't know exactly what the end result is gonna be. Daniel, welcome. One of the folks I'm most excited to see again. Haven't seen you since Murph 22. There's a whole like Jackson in between. You have to go super fast or you're super resonant with superpower. Yeah. Were there super speedies or super powers? I've used both. I haven't actually. Which printer did I have the speedies on? Is that that's the green? That's the green V2, right? That I put speedies on. We got 5 volts there. So let's take this around. Five volts there. If that's the correct way that I want to go with it. And then ground. Probably not exactly the way I wanted to go with it, but yes. It's out of the way. Yeah, right like that. Derek, thanks for the super chat. Steve, where can I find this wire bundle grip you have in your Legacy CW2? I'd like one of those for my Legacy. Wire bundle grip you have in my Legacy CW2. Are you talking about this? Is that what you're talking about? I haven't published this yet, actually. I just modeled this for I just modeled that for my V2. Someone into his facing forward child seat. Wow. Don't talk about solder fume. I just did Xbox controller Hall effect sensor mod. Fun. And the regular drivers couldn't hack it. Shifted real bad in travel moves. Had to order some 5160s. Ooh. Hey, Zombie, thanks for the banana. What red is that? This is KVP's Stellar Red. It is a very nice red. There we go. I think that'll do. Almost looks like red carbon fiber. Got a sparkle to it. Of course, I've been doing Hilbert curve for a long time. I've been doing Hilbert curve for a long time. Often misses super chats because he's concentrating. Did I miss a super chat? I talked about a super chat. I got Zombie and I got Derek and I missed Modbots. Damn it. RMF gas or snack fun. Thanks, Daniel. I did miss it. I was looking at I was breathing fumes. Okay, let's go ahead and cut that right there. I'm fired. I'm fired. Okay, so that goes there, that goes there. These are some thin wires. Using the 28 gauge side of the... They do connectors on these now for the mellow stuff, don't they? Did you say Dilbert curve? Close enough. Better than crimping the silly BTT tiny pins. This is true. Multitasking when working with finicky electronics. Not sure how to do it all. Too much stress of prep. Yeah, this is, yeah, very much so. There's so much prep. Are you ready, Bill? We're gonna have an awesome drive. Okay, so that just kind of goes on there like that. I'll be on the clock for light burn, but I can be your undercover camera guy. And then when you're a painter, it's all about prep. I spent a lot of time in my early teenage years because my stepfather was a painter, and I spent a lot of time learning that. House painter. PF Dennis, thanks for the gifted memberships. Sac to Denver is a trek. Hope the weather across Wyoming is good for you. Yeah, you know, last year we ran into snow on the eastern side of Nevada. Quite a bit of snow. we were fine Wyoming and up through the Rockies and that the I-80 pass, but I heard 50, the southern route or whatever, was really bad. We were glad we didn't go that way. I hope one day so just about anything you see on here, if I haven't published it, you can message me on my Discord and I'll try to get it out there. There is, unless it's part of someone else's design that's under, hasn't been released or whatever yet, like the Mercury 1 skirts. I know Turtle's here. I have no problems with sharing what I model. What is the weather looking like for Rocky Mountain? I heard like high 50s. So, okay, so that's pretty much done. It's gonna go, let's see if this lines up. Yeah, it does. Cool. Okay. That means let's work on some belts. Lows in the 30s. You're almost 4 minutes behind. Oh. Shows snow on Thursday in Loveland right now. Okay, well, we got snow last year. Wasn't too bad. Yeah. So XBST, if you're still here, thank you. I just got your DM about if I need any help with this PyCan adapter. I will reach out. I very much appreciate it. My first pass is going to be using your site for looking up any instructions, but I don't know that I'll get to it today. We're not going to get to the point where we're turning anything on, I don't think. I think we're just kind of working, helping me make progress. Okay, so we have the printer here, and I need to, my belts are too tight. Let's see where these are. If we do a little check here, let's see where my belts are. I figured out PIF quality parts on my Trident. I'm thinking about redoing my colors in the KVP Stellar Red and Black. Cool. Driving out Wednesday night from Illinois. So let's see where these are. They're always printed fine, but feeling them right now, they're really tight. Are you streaming extra this week? No, I am planning probably on streaming next Tuesday, even though it's the night before I leave, but, oh yeah, they're awfully tight. And I'm going to be streaming Sunday, but it's going to be a pretty chill, work on the TD1. Yeah, at least it's close to even. Work on the TD1 and unbox the black box parts. That's gonna be Sunday's stream. Okay, so let's do the belt because I need to get around the tool head before they put the tool head on here. There we are. So I want to loosen all of this up. What is a TD1? TD1 is a transmission distance sensor made by Ajax. It's really useful in determining correct transmissive distance values for HueForge prints. It is a panic party stream. That is absolutely accurate, Zombie. Okay, so loosen those and then loosen these. Got my TD1 kit in yesterday. Awesome. So I am going to loosen these to the max that the heads of the screws will allow. There we are. All these parts, I didn't reprint any of the main printer parts, so they've been around a while. Just let that be kind of tightened at the max loose position. See ya, zombie. Are you streaming tonight? Don't you stream every night? Okay, so that's all the way over. Often. Okay. So the belt clamps are right there, and the X end stop is here. Now, if we put the tool head on here, we'll notice when we go to the side, it bumps. The stealth burner bumps on the XY joint here. Streams with me on Mondays and Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So because it bumps there, the end stop isn't able to trigger. So now right before that bumps, I want to see what amount of extra travel I need. I think 3 millimeters is probably going to do it. So I designed 2 different sizes of that. One that's 3 millimeters over and one that's 4 millimeters over. So this must be the 3. So let's try the 3 on there first. Throw a heat set in here. I have not caught nearly as many of your streams as I would like. Just I've been so busy out here, and when I'm out here, I haven't been doing things that let me just put the a stream on. So I'll get back to it once this calms down. I'll get back to stuff. Let's see. Let's get this one. Set in there. All good. Happy when you can make it. It's fun. It's great. Great chatter. Okay. It's been a while. Let's pull this off. Ah, these go right through here. Right, the long screw going in. So I'm hoping I can. So let's do this first. Let's take the end stop off first. Hey, John. $6:30. What do we have here? 200 people, 110 likes, and we're giving away filament in 36 minutes. Hey, Reth. Welcome. What do you think input shaper is going to look like on this thing? Okay, so this is going to go on here. Hit the like button 3 times. Perfect. 208, 120. I had talked about this week starting the electronics testing box. I noticed Iconic released something that looks pretty cool. I'm going to continue with my plan because I've been thinking about it for a very long time. And I like my what I'm planning on doing, so that's really cool to see. But I'm going to be continuing with what I was planning. But anyway, I need to work on that project. It'll probably be what we work on right after Rocky Mountain. That'll be the Tuesday stream series for a while. It doesn't really matter what I do with my belts here. Just need to put this in and see if it triggers before the tool head. See you, Daniel. Thanks for stopping by. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Brian, are you going to Rocky Mountain? Do not know. Probably belt's too tight. Did you see me test the belts? They were at 2.9. They were at 2.9 as I had this. My plan is crap. Jared has been my sounding board for that electronics setup, electronics testing station setup. So, okay, let's see if that triggers. Oh, that's perfect. It triggers within like exactly as pretty much I can barely see light between the stealth burner and the XY joint. So that 3mm one looks like it was perfect. You won't be at Murph. Are you going to be at IRF or 3D Printopia? Okay, so that being correct, and us having a bit of belt back here, now I want to see if I can get a better idea of having the same length belts, because I know I did not pay as much attention to that for this build as I have for other builds. IRF 3D Printopia 100% yes. Awesome. Okay, so if we go here, what am I gonna do to test this? It's gonna replace both of those, even though I don't need to. It won't give me a bump. There's no reason to replace that one. So I can probably just leave that right there. There's no reason to replace it. Never mind. When is someone making a printing show in Texas? Why don't you? You should. Are folks going to Murph? Are you going to Murph, Brian? Hey, Mitch. This is a legacy. This is the Voron Legacy. This is Voron Legacy serial number 1. So let's loosen this. Let's see if I can pull. Good thing you won't be building one at the event again. Yeah, hell no. Okay, so that is bottom one. Back a tooth. There we go. Needs to be about the same. Part of a well-balanced breakfast. Going to take the temperature of how many folks are going to Murph. I'm more free in the summer. Yeah, so those are moving. It's really close. It's probably within. It's probably the actual. Those are even belts at that point. So we're going to go with that. Oh. Need to make sure everything's writing on the bearings correctly. Nothing's writing up on a bearing, and it looks like it's all good. Yeah. Here, yeah, we're all good. It's going to do between Rocky Mountain and Milo. My annual fund money account is in sad shape. Driving via Austin on the way back to California. Okay. So I am going to call that good. Maybe MRF next year. I'm still hoping to do basically everything. Now, this on here, what is my best path to, Milo's probably worth it. My best path to a X end stop. Might have to extend these wires. And what are we doing for connections on here? We don't have a whole lot of options. We have a 5 volts, high voltage in. Okay, where's the documentation for this Fly SB2040 board? 29 minutes. Mellow Fly SB2040 V1. Let's go here. Does this Legacy run on an 8-bit board? It does not. V1 hardware and that kind of stuff. So I don't want there. I want to go down here to their documentation. More information can be found here. This is Mellow, GitHub IO, or yeah, let's go here. See what this is. Murph and 3D Printopia for me this year, maybe Rocky Mountain next year. Awesome. Like I said, I'm hoping to make all of them. Now this is a page not found, but we can come over here and just go back to the main page. There we are. And now we want CAN bus boards. Yep, Fly SB2040 V1 and the overview. This is our V1. Okay, so then we want to go pin diagram. This is what we want to see. So high voltage end stop is going to be our, and I'm not going to be able to fit that. What am I going to do? We need an Aussie RepRap Festival. Printopia would be easiest for me. I'd like to get to one of them. Haven't been yet. They're a blast, PF Dennis. If you can make it there, I'll definitely make it. I'm planning on making it there, but I'll really make sure I do. I thought Legacy was an old and not just not that old. So Legacy was released as a callback to earlier Vorons. It was released in 2021, I think, fall of 2021, late fall. Okay, so here's our end stop. So our X end stop is going to go into this 2-pin. What else do we have to plug in? This is a 5-volt end stop, but we need the high voltage because I am going to run a just an Omron probe on this. When I use this board, I use their Chinese manual. It has an automatic English translator that's good. The Chinese manual is more complete. This, for what I need though, this is fine. We've got temperature sensor there and our hot end here. We have the extruder and this is another fan connector pin out there. Will you be using a Nighthawk 36? I imagine I'll get one into some build. I don't know which though, Kenneth. What was this one? This is another end stop. So I have, oh, I guess I only have to, so I just have to plug in here and here. But this other one is a problem. This other one is a real problem because if we look at this, there is no, oops. I guess I could have just taken it off and shown it up close. Look at that. There's no room there. High volt end stop is tight. What did you do as a job? What did I do? Do I look retired? Is that, are you calling me old? Do I look old? Yes. I am not as old as I look. The gray, I did gray. I'm gonna call it early. I'm a manager for an IT service and support group. Steve, you don't look a day over 40. There we go. I think it's a consistent streaming schedule. Yeah, I can see that. I don't think that will. I think it might be worth doing a quick model of making this and the door a little different. I need to tweak the door anyway because it's hitting somewhere. Is it hitting there? Where is it hitting? This door is hitting somewhere. I left Daniel left the stream on, so the term guru might apply. Started turning gray at 26 and was full gray at 38. Yeah. Shaved the beard past for 35. Well, you just go back about a year and a half in streams and that's what I'd look like without it. That, yeah, I blame my gray on my son, don't we all? That is not actually hitting. Is it hitting anything on the board? I don't think it is hitting anywhere on the board. It doesn't actually match up there. Okay, so in general, some things have changed on the cable cover and this didn't change to go along with it. That's okay, we can adapt, but I might have to do something with that. So I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Auditioning for ZZ Top. I figure let's see how long we can get it. We'll let it go a little longer until my wife says no more. I was a very different looking Steve, yep. But given that, I think if I'm going to be tweaking some of this, I'm gonna bring this over to where it's just a thin line here, and hopefully that will open up the space there for the connector. So we'll move on to another part of this project. This is gonna go here, so let's work on the electronics on the back. Let's work on this. I've modded files for this issue. This is a Bowden. This is a Bowden. There's no stepper. It's a Bowden tool head. No stepper there. It is a sparkle black. Jeannie has already made a statement that you are not going to grow a beard like Steve, are you? So like I said earlier in the stream, this is the basic electronics setup. This is the XBST Pi CAN adapter. There is no CAN capability on this Manta M4P. And I just used a wraparound USB adapter to make that happen. So we have our steppers and YN stop. And then we have this stepper is going to go back to the tool head now instead of down into the electronics. And then this can just bolt in down here. But before we do that, we need to put our power supply in. So let's do that. I had to modify the back, the little back panel here. This is going to screw on like that. But even that, power supply goes in right here and gets screwed in. So a little M4 button head, short M4. It is a 24 volt bit, yep. The rule is you let the beard grow until it's 1 inch from the Milo spindle. Or you let the beard grow and let the Milo spindle dictate how long it is. Just make sure I'm lining up here. Ouch. Please don't. I won't. Don't worry. That does not sound fun at all. Sounds like a blast to say, but. Okay, and then on top, it's another one. It works if it trims it. It'd be a tug test. Where are you at? That's why. There we go. So that bolts that together. I guess here. Go ahead and plug in, power our board, I guess. It's going to go under like that. How many ugga-duggas to trim a beard? None. It would also be trimming nose hairs at 24,000 RPMs. Several years ago, there was a grad student in physics who got their long hair caught in a lathe and actually got killed. Ooh. 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 Ouch. Look at Steve's wiring and I'm ashamed of mine. My mains power is hardwired, no fuses, breakers, just laying about. It's not good. Okay, so this controller has a motor power. I need to look to see if that has to be hooked up or if it'll just take, oh, it will. So there are jumpers over here that have 24 volts or 48 volts. So we're just gonna run this on 24 volts. So we'll just hook up power to the 24 volt power spot here. Oh, and I want to get my antenna out of here. Move this around. Just put it over here somewhere for now. Some of this will, is original wiring. So like this little power cable that I'm plugging in here is from my original setup and there's no reason to change it. My beard keeps stalling about 2 inches shorter than yours and then goes bushy. So the only way, so my beard would be bushy, right? I blow dry it every morning. After the shower, blow dry it and it keeps it straight. If I don't, and you've probably seen hints of it, it curls. Cleaned up this week after I finished printing my DIN mounts. Good. Okay, so there's that. That gets us power. Now we need to grab the old. So this is the old back panel. And I tweaked this a little bit. I added a little spot there to, and this is intended to just make sure you can't get your fingers in here to any exposed contacts. Try using a pomade for the beard. It keeps it neat. Yeah, I use various. I haven't really found exactly the beard balm that I like, but there are spots here on the side, so I'm hoping to just get in here and push this out. I'm gonna just leave this. I did solder that. I might replace that. Yeah. Nobody saw that. I didn't do it. Nobody saw me do it. Can't prove anything except it's on film. Beard sounded like a lot of work. I don't know. I don't know if it's more work than shaving every day or not. It's less expensive. Okay, so that's going in there. Tweak that. I will replace that. Yeah. So this is going to go in here, up like that. But then we also got to get our fan off of here. This is not part of the legacy files. This is something I modeled up. I thought it was neat. I had enough room to put the fan on the inside. Some folks have to put the fan on the outside. And I'm also going to put heat sets in this fan. I didn't actually know that would work when I built this. I trimmed mine and my daughter wouldn't talk to me till I grew it back. Was there a washer on there? I guess not. This will be a lot easier to assemble with heat sets in that too. And what am I going to do? I think, yeah, that'll work. Let's put those into those same spots right there. And I want to increase the temperature because this is going into a nylon fan. So I'm going to bump this up to like 260. Tried to print my first print, Z offset was very off. Tried to save new offset, got save config section, probe option, Z offset. Pay attention to what I'm doing here and then I can read the rest of that. Anyone have any idea what's wrong? Conflicts with included value. What is your setup, Dead Aim? What is your setup? What Endstop, what? Okay, and that didn't focus very well at all. Trident and tap. Put that back to 230. So I tried to print my first print. Z offset was very off. Tried to save new offset and got save config section, probe option, Z offset conflicts with included value. Did you run a probe calibrate? Run a probe calibrate. Separate file for your probe might be you have Z offset defined in another file. That's a good point. If you have a separate like toolhead file with your or something. Oh, I want to shorten these. I don't need, I think these are 30s. I don't need 30s for these. Is that what these are? I need 25s. Yeah, I don't need 30s. Let's switch these out to 25s. Much cleaner. Johnny sticks pre-made for the beard. Pomade. You know, the big thing, the thing that I need to pay attention to is what April likes the smell of. The Best Damn Beard Balm, the redwood stuff, I actually like too, and she likes. But it's no longer available at our local place. Okay, so that goes there, and then this would come around and thread in here. But we don't have to do that right now. Let's put this on the printer. So now this all goes right here. Go. What if it's trying to kill us a lot today? Just poured expired foodstuffs into a jar without checking the dates. Oops. Oops. Okay. These should all be still lined up. This is actually good progress just to get this bolted in. I got to figure out where it's going to be I'm probably going to have to extend my Z stepper motors, unfortunately. This piece over here is a piece I added to just kind of stabilize the power supply. The default legacy stuff is just this one down here. Stuff is best instead of used by. Hope that applies there too. Best by, yeah, instead of used by. What do we have? Oh, one right there. See something that I could edit. I should make this slotted slightly. That way this can push, doesn't get pulled. This is the more important one. You don't want to crack it like I just did. That's fine. It'll be okay. That sucks. I just tightened it too much. Too many ugga-duggas. You see what I did there though? Crack, loosen, and then tighten again, and it's fine. I'm used to dodging drop bears and spiders as big as Steve's beard, but dodging all hurts today. That can go away. That can go over there. This then would go on there and cover up the whole. See? Electronics covered. Tighten until it cracks and then reprint. This is okay though. I heard a little crack, but it's not like it broke. As far as like, I'm not gonna reprint that. So just to get a view here, well, can't really get everything all over the place. You see this, Dave? I put the red accents in there and it goes well. Still needs a bottom panel. No, it doesn't. Not need a bottom panel. Do it this way, I think. So all of these, I've got this much wire. I've got a USB cable here. So this is going to go up into here, and it does not reach. That is my 2. Do not reach. No matter what I do, those aren't going to reach. I have to go over here. Okay. So I'm going to have to make some extensions, and I'm probably going to run them down here underneath the power supply and over to here. And then our XY stuff is going to come in here, and those might just reach, depending on what the order of the steppers are on here. If a short circuit is a short, is a broken wire a long? Doesn't need a bottom panel? It doesn't. Crack is broke. A layer cracked right around the bolt. It's fine. It's not unserviceable. Just need to use a wire stretcher. What are these? How are these measured? E0, XYZ. So according to this, goes that way. This comes in here. Oh, they just reach, I think. Let me just go back to sleep, but we'll see. I got an interview in Stockholm. I have to be up properly in 4 more hours. Ew. This is the Y stop. That's gonna go. That's gonna have to switch to a 3-pin, but it'll reach just fine. These I can probably get a little bit more length out of them. There we go. That gives me a little bit more length there. Oops. What time is it? Oh, it's 1 minute till filament giveaway time. We're at 140. Can we get 59 likes in 1 minute? Can we get 59 likes in 1 minute? I think I might just do this. Just take that over there. And I'll do this the whole. 59 likes in 1 minute. It's time for giveaway. Yeah, this will probably be better because this will stick in there a little easier anyway. Yeah, there we go. And this comes over here instead. Just like that, and that gives me a little more wire. You got me? Wow, we got to 170. We got 29 in that 1 minute. That's pretty good. You can go to the museum anytime. I'll make a prediction. I will not win this time. How close can we get? 174. We're almost there. You clicked like 50 times, but you got to click it an odd number of times. Click an even number of times. Doesn't work. Okay, let me bring this up. 24 more likes to go. Can we hit it by the time we have a winner? That's a goal. Can we hit it by the time we have a winner? Oh, you hit it 50 more times. Okay. 50 more times would be okay. Where is my wheel of names? How many times do I need to click so I can win? Get rid of the old names. We all float down here. 186 viewers and only 7 likes. You got to refresh. Delete that. Close the ad. bring up the list. We're at 180. We got 20 more. We got to hit 20 more by the time we draw a name. Okay, so I'm going to close the entries when we haven't had a new entry in 3 seconds. Hey, Ethan, welcome. So we are at 350 entries. We really should be at 200 likes with 350 entries. With 350 entries and 223 people here, we have high chances of Toolhead Club members. So we're at 351. So 3, 2, nice call, LO, what? Oh, yeah. Okay, 3, 2, 3. A tick box for having liked. Oh, that's a good one, Phil. Well, I liked and didn't enter, so it's even worse. Why don't you enter, Dave? Get a roll of Polymaker filament. It's 3, 2, 1, half, quarter, eighth, 10th. Okay, let's link it out. I enter, I'm not eligible to win. Create a new sheet. Dogs distracted you. So GJ got the first one in there. RU's nephew was number 2. And who got in at the end? Thunder Keys, right at the end. Scott, you were pretty close to the end. And Leo, copy this out and paste. Not break my losing streak this time. What do I have? I think I said I had 8 days to prepare for Rocky Mountain. I've got, today's gone. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 days. So we need a number between 1 and 7. 1 and 7. I hit enter before you even started counting this time. 1 and 7. What does that sound? Does the music go weird? I'm gonna go 6. But did the music go weird? Steve, win to complete my box set of Nero and Modbot. Nice. Let's go 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Spin. Got to be here. Music is fine. Okay. There must be an alarm or something going on in the neighborhood. Going off in the neighborhood. Who do we got? Alan B. Alan B, are you here? You got to say something in chat. 2 minutes. Alan B. I was wondering about YouTube requirements. What about Alan B? There you are. Congratulations. No Toolhead Club members today. Alan B. We'll go in here. Get this pasted. Make sure we are good. We are good. Congratulations. If you're in the US or Canada, you will get a coupon to the US or Canada store. And if you are outside the US or Canada, you get a list of a long list of filament to pick a roll from. So congratulations. I got distracted by a text on my phone. My prediction was spot on. Good job. In the East Bay, we met at Mare Island. Awesome. Your son, you and your son, is that correct? Or you and your dad, if it's the other way. Is that right? There we go. Awesome. I remember. Congratulations. Okay, that can close. Losing streak of 1 of 1, first time being live on stream. Thank you, Sean. Thanks for being here. See, I remembered your name. And my son-in-law won your V0.2. All right. Right. Okay, what is next? You know, something we can wire up. Not can, but could, is the bed. So this is just an Ender 3 bed, and it is pretty, should be a pretty direct. We got a thermistor and power. Should be able to just do like so. There we go. Small world some days. Yeah. Just about done assembling the V0.2E1. Awesome. Okay, let's put the bed on. We'll go another 20 minutes or so. Try to keep it somewhat short. I'm gonna squirrel around the shop with other things. So that's gonna go there. And then there's a couple of zip tie spot here. That goes right in there. That's really nice. 0, and this is bed. So HE0 is where we're going to get power for our CAN board. We're going to get power there, and we'll get ground from the power supply directly. We get power from this hot end output because it's unused, and by doing that, we're protected by the board fuse for the CAN toolhead board, and we don't have to run a separate fuse. Okay, I need a zip tie because I'm gonna preemptively start this zip tie while I can maybe get my fingers in there. Long day tomorrow, going to call it a night. See you, Norgarut. Thanks for being here. A couple of these. I have to open the CAD for Legacy. Currently designing a rod-based printer, and it might be good reference. There's some neat stuff done in here. Max did a good job. Russian cat food. RCF. How are you going to keep the port always powered up, Steve? Is there a clipper flag? So Derek, it's the PWM, the not ground, but basically the signal side, right? The ground side. It's PWM on the ground side. 24 volts is constant. So any of these, the bed or this, you can grab 24 volts. This is a 24 always on part. It doesn't PWM that. That's not hooked up to the FET. So that's why you grab only the 24 volt side, and I can show you here. Check this out. If we pull up the meter, and we just go straight 24 volt here. Yep. I don't know if you can hear that, but there. Now this one shouldn't, because this is the 48 volt input. So this is 24 volt input. This is bed out, and this is hot end out. Now, if we go over to ground, this, see, nothing. What is that? The camera is going funky. You see that blue shimmer or that red shimmer? You can hear the multimeter, cool. So any of these won't, but this will, and this one should, because 48 volt and 24 volt will share a ground. I just realized the Octopus Pro has a max 31865. Yeah. So the thing I realized several CAN builds ago is that I can simplify wiring and fuse protect the toolhead board by pulling off an unused heater output. And I don't see anything wrong with that, because we are being protected by the board fuse, similar to what a regular hot end would be going to. And I would question, I would look at it closer if I was running like a Rapido with 100 or something else with 100+ watt hot end on it. So let me say that if you're running a high current something on the tool head, I'd be looking a little more close at the capabilities of the various outputs you might be looking at. Maybe you go out, make sure you go off the bed output instead. So because that's a higher current FET here. But I'm going to run a Revo on this. I'm going to run this other gray heatsink one that I have. This isn't a high speed, high flow printer here, so I'm going to use a regular 40 watt and a normal flow nozzle on it. If you aren't using high volt steppers, you can send the shared ground input for the, oh, good call. I will do that, Phil. Instead of going to the power supply, that'll keep all my wiring in here. I'll go to the ground here. Good call. Using the bed port because they have beefier MOSFETs. So the LDO kits have you run their breakout board off, I think, the bed output because of people putting Rapidos and stuff on them. See ya, Ella. Hope you get to sleep. Get some rest. You don't have a lot of time. Are the pins big enough on some of the CAN bus anyway, such as EB? No, they're not, Adama. No. You're right. They are not. Those EBB 36. That's big criticism on Big Tree Tech's part on using that. So this goes through here, and this is a zip tie I'm getting in, and this is going to be interesting. Let's see if I can do this with tweezers or something. Dark and tweezers. I don't know if it's going to be worth it. Oh. Ah, got it. They're so small, it makes me nervous on my Dragonfly. Yeah, that terminal block that they use on the EBB 36 is not nearly big enough. Let me see, get a pair of pliers here. White heat shrink on the tweezers. That would give me some grip, yeah, but I managed to get it. So on my Mercury 1, I did desolder that. I desoldered that terminal block and put the and soldered a little pigtail with a microfit on it instead. Okay, so let's get this into the bed. So this is HE0, so this must be the bed output. Yeah. That is not, oh yeah, okay. Is what I wanted. Loose, make sure that one's loose. There's no LED on here or anything, so the bed's not actually polarized, but I'm still matching the wire colors. Yeah, it's nicely lined up right there. I can pull this zip tie tight. And the nice thing about that zip tie is it's right here, and it angles the umbilical for the bed just kind of straight forward, and it'll just kind of flop there on the bottom of the printer and move out of the way when you get to Max Z. Now I gotta get in here and trim this. I heard that. There it is. Okay. Go, I think it's this one. This is the M4P. M4P. Where is the... Which one is... Oh, here's thermistor. I can see it here. Oh, thermistor. What is this? Thermistor 0. Oh, thermistor bed is this one here. Okay. Any luck, dead aim? Oh, that was the question earlier, huh? Not a whole lot of stuff is going to get plugged in here because of the toolhead board. So that is, the bed is hooked up. Has anyone seen a nice 2-gang wall plate for network keystones on printables? There's lots, but the ones I've waded through are ugly. 2-gang wall plate for network keystones. I haven't looked. Okay. It's gonna go there. That's gonna go there. That can't reach. And I need to identify a CAN cable for this. I think that's pretty close to next. I don't think... I wonder if I have any pre-made... Nope, these are soldered. These are integrated into the stepper motors for the Z, so I have to extend these. I have to extend them or make a little harness extension for them. If I go this way down here, those will kind of be out of the way, so I can just make little extensions without any real problem. So let's do it. In the interest of keeping the wiring kind of clean, I think I'm just going to make some wiring extensions. So I'm either soldering wire extensions onto here, or I'm going to make some with these and some heat shrink. This will be the most flexible. Oh, where? Some wire. Oh, I want this one. I don't have any black 4-conductor cable. This is chain flex. It'll be nice and it'll support itself going to the tool head. I might use this for my tool head CAN wire. This is what I used on the solid fork too. Use the connector so when you change the board again, you can just change the extension. Exactly. And I have all kinds of I don't even have to do a JST crimp in this little setup. I've got a, well, that one I probably don't want to do because that's going to be useful. I got to find one that I cut off like this. That's probably perfect. This is why I keep this stuff. And I'm a wire hoarder. There, those two might match. The question is, are they long enough? I don't bother with the heat shrink. I plug the board type connector into a female connector, basically two female connectors together. I'm pretty sure I understand what you're saying. I am going to go ahead and solder this though. I want more of those sweet rosin core fumes. Sweet, sweet rosin core fumes. Let's see if that goes there. That's there. Yeah, that's plenty. Plenty of extra. Keep spare wires like that around too, maybe too many. Yeah. Rosin core. There. Okay. Hey, Francois. I think I will do this little bit and then we will call it. Shouldn't take too long. I am going to want to pull this all apart and actually run those wires somewhat cleanly. Maybe I'll go this way then. I don't know. Because it's going to be really tough to secure this behind the power supply here because I can't pull the power supply out. I can't pull the power supply out because the screw going in here is captured in between this plastic part and the extrusion, and getting a little bit of wire management under here might be a little tough. So those might just hang out on the other side of the power supply here. Yeah, that'll be cleanest. Oh well, we'll see. We got Z and, oh, I plugged these into Z and E. Oh, that works. That's what I'm gonna plug it in here. Oh, let's just go old school. Let's get you out of the way so we actually get something it'll focus on. Stupid camera. I gotta go in and probably reset all the settings on these cameras and need to do some actual camera setting, tweaking, white balance, stuff like that. I'm gonna just go black heat shrink, I think. Yeah, let's go bigger. Let's go bigger. Where are we at? Did we ever hit 200 likes? 3 shy. 3 shy. A couple of pieces of heat shrink. 2 shy. What do I do? Probably. hit the like button like 9 more times. We're at 206. We're good. We've hit at least the stream goal. Rosin-based flux made from extracts of pine tree sap. That might explain why the fumes have a pleasant fragrance to some. Yeah. Okay, so heat shrink on there. It's alive. First print on Trident coming from V0.2. So nice to have bed leveling now for a serial. Awesome. Congrats, Deadaim. I don't know if those fumes show on camera or not. Managed to not breathe any of those. Let's go there. Something like that'll probably be good. Actually, I'll have to flip this around and put the wires on that side because it'll better center the. And quick heat on this. That's gonna snap and fly off. Quick heat. Don't wanna have it on here for a long time. It'd be better off having a little connector plugged into it. Still gotta clean up start macros though. Tap macros clashing with slicer macros. Okay, if this plugs in that way, so now I can match my wires. So blue, red, green, black. Blue, red, green. I don't have nearly the stability that I want on this. I need to get one of those cool, what the cool kids use for the helping hands. Nearly the stability I want on this. Green. And yeah, let's see. Oh. Get rid of that. Bring in this. Omnifixo. Yes, I need to get one of those. There we go. Examine. Heat shrink covers up all. Can you get male crimped on JST XH? No. They make a set for the Panuit base for this thing? Do enough solder to make it worth it? I don't do enough. Yeah. So with these, especially, I'm sure the generic, who knows what brand ends, you don't want to put a ton of heat on this. So I was kind of taking the heat gun away, just making sure I didn't cause that to melt the end. I grew up in the 80s. My dad had an old lead rosin core plumbing solder. Grew up, well, plumbing solder is usually acid core. Grew up in the country, ticks, dirt, frogs, earthworms, and swimming in the creek. Plumbing is usually acid core, right? Or there are instances where either are used. Okay, we're gonna finish this one and then probably call it acid flux. But there's acid core, I know I've seen it. Well, it's flux in the core, but yes. Acid flux mostly. How can you tell if your V-slot wheels are flat? Look at them seem round to touch. Do you if they're flat in an area that matters, you would feel it in the motion as you're moving you'd feel a flat spot as you're moving the whatever axis around. I'm gonna do a little V-slot wheel project here pretty soon. I'm gonna make a camera trolley for when I move my desk over here. Make a little trolley so I can pull my camera towards me so I can turn it on and off and change settings. Should have done this before I stripped the wires. The project I'm working on might be useful to you if you're looking for after an OmniFixo. Maybe. Almost done. Feel it when I move the y-axis, but when I take it off and inspect it, there's no obvious signs. It might not be easy to see them. Let's do this. This will be easier. Leave it alone for a couple of days. Big Clive technique. Who's Clive? Who is Clive? Oops. I guess I'm crimping after all. I mean, I can. Didn't realize, I didn't look close enough. That's a PH. He can solder one-handed. YouTube, bigclive.com. Oh, this is my own technique. I mean, multiple people can have the same idea. This goes that way. So blue, red, green, black. I put a link in the Pan of Ice helping hands in the Discord stream chat. Oh, nice. I'll check that out. But yeah, honestly, I have no idea. I thought of that. I thought of that on my own. It's cool that someone else uses it. I'm sure they thought of it on their own too. I don't know, maybe they got it from me. That's blasphemy. He's a beardy with a mad electronic skills who lives in the Isle of Man. Nice. Sounds like I need to check out that channel. You know, so much of this kind of thing is just, I've been doing this for so long. And I guess one of the things you can think of is been doing something a long time. And if it's an actually effective way to do something, multiple people are going to come to that same conclusion. A lot of I'm right on that edge where folks older than me almost exclusively develop those skills from books or just experience or passed down stuff, and now you develop a lot of folks just develop skills off of watching this. Which is not a problem. It's just the way that what was available to anybody for learning this kind of thing. Almost daily teardowns of random electronics and teaches why the design is bad in them. Okay, nice. We'll use vice when you can fight endlessly with the connector flip-flopping while you try to get the exact angle. Yeah. So are you talking, Max CJ, you're talking about this with a crimped end? I know they exist, but I don't think it officially exists as a JST item. I think it's one of those things that has been made, but there's no official support for it. Because my soldering skills aren't that good and the cables get too hot. Well, you put it further away. They don't get hot by then, especially the small wire. Always have learned best by watching others do things, yeah. The current project is turning my CR10 Mini into a CR10 with a silicone heat bed. Okay, this is good. That is not. Let's fix that real quick and then call it. I said let's fix that real quick and then call it, but I might want to take the opportunity to, no, they'll tuck back here. I won't, I'll just do it. My mid. There we go. They come in the JST kits for crimping available from Core and other big resellers. Yeah, they exist, but I don't think JST doesn't make them, right? Or they started, because at some point I'm pretty sure they did not. But how are you going to take that for Rocky Mountain? I'm driving. Driving to Rocky Mountain. Yeah, grabbed exactly 4. Okay, blue, red, green, black, just like that. Inline white JST 8XH. Is that what we're talking about? Yeah. Basically the male side of the pin. A crimp housing for the male pin. I don't sound like I'm bragging too much. I hate boasting. What extruder are you running here? M4. M4. A Bowden extruder. It is a long drive. It's about 18 or 19 hours total. So I gotta say, 2 of those, I don't know if you could see it, but 2 of those insulation crimps were kind of garbo. It'll be fine for this, but it did, the the terminal. I don't know where these terminals came. Yeah, they're bending over the wrong way. They'll be okay, but they weren't. I think I need to get rid of those terminals and grab my actual JST ones I have. Blue, red, green, black. Yep. There we go. Oh, and I never labeled these. Darn it. Okay. I didn't label them. What do we have here? We have, that one's going to E1. That one's going to E1, but I'm going to go to E0. So these are the same length. This is about the same length, so it doesn't matter. So we're going to label them this way. E. Oh yeah, I need a sharper Sharpie. E0 and Z. Just thought it was a standard designation. Nope, JST is a thing. Okay, folks. These are going to go, this one is the E0 one. So it's going to go right there. And this one is the Z one. Go right there. And these I will tuck them down underneath the wires here, and then they'll flip around. And the E one will go up here. Right there. And the Z one will go down here in the bottom one. And then X and Y, AB is here in the middle. Like Kleenex, JST is an actual company that specs out connectors, but JST is also a catch-all for that type of connector. Okay, this was helpful. This was dedicated time for making progress. This is the M4 extruder, by the way. Dedicated time for making progress on this printer that I really want to get to Rocky Mountain, because it's not often that we have a legacy at a show. And I've been excited to do this M4P update anyway. You should try inserting the PCB mount JST into the crimp female and secure them with heat shrink, like I mentioned before. I remember that. I should. I'll try that sometime. JST is also a standard used for all of JST's connectors, and they're different designations. So XH is bigger than PH is bigger than SH, but then VH is way bigger than XH. VH is like what's used on the extruder outputs on the Duet stuff, the stepper, the 4-stepper outputs on the Kraken, the 4 high current stepper outputs. And there's all kinds of them. Yeah, this is good. Good progress. GST is they are not a standard. You don't sue anybody one time, and that is what you. Oh, yeah. Getting a name become in the common whatever. Okay, yet another company that didn't actively fight for their intellectual property. Are used now for, that's what I was trying to say, and it has the advantage that you can take it apart easily to use the extension elsewhere. The concern I have with the technique, I want to take a little diversion there. The concern I have with the technique you're mentioning of putting the, here, I'll demonstrate, of putting the, joining these this way. Concern I have. So the talk is you take this and you insert it into this side of this, right? and then you have your wires coming off, and then you take one of these and you can plug it in here. Is the size of that pin larger than, no, it's not. Never mind. It's going to work because it goes straight through. See, I had to actually look at that before I knew. It goes straight through. It's the exact same thing. Now, is there enough contact there? Is there enough contact to get good contact? I think there probably is. Oh, this focus is awful. Okay, I had to walk through that, but that is a good idea. I will look at that more later. Yep, you got it. It works beautifully. Yeah, I had to step through it. Okay. I don't know if it needs longer tails. That's all the way into the springy part of the connector. Then you get to push the pin mode out to do it like that. Give it enough heat, it'll make contact. Could just add some shrink tube to hold. Yeah, I agree with the shrink tube. You would need something to lock it together. I would do either a zip tie around. You can do a thin zip tie around the middle this way to hold everything together, or some heat shrink. Large piece of heat shrink would be good. A little zip tie, a thin, like the real thin zip tie would work. Okay, we are there. Thank you everyone for showing up, hanging out, letting me make progress towards the trip next week. Thanks for the gifted memberships. Thanks to Polymaker for the filament giveaway. We will be back here on Sunday, which will officially be the first stream in the Black Box series, but we will be probably spending most of our time assembling a TD1. Not this one. We're going to give this one away, thanks to West 3D. Those are probably going to get hard to find, so you might really want to enter that and giveaway if you are interested in it. I am going to open it up to international because I'd rather do that, and it just means a little extra work for me to ship it, but that's okay. I have a kit that Ajax had sent me, and that's what we'll be installing or assembling. We won't be doing much with it, but the idea is to check it out, and then we'll use it once the Black Box is done. So with that, have a good rest of your week. Hope to see you Sunday. Take care and enjoy the build. Bye.